Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a UFO sighting by the Air Force. Also have this UFO encounter over the Atlantic. Let's see, this is an old video about these UFOs that appeared over China, the China airport, and shut it down. I think I've shown this before. Let's see, this is a Russian documentary about their Navy encountering fleets of UFOs underwater. Again, like I've been saying, they're not all visiting. I think most of these encounters are advanced neighbors that have been here for thousands of years. Anyways, here's a video of this guy, Bill Nelson, NASA administrator, comments on UFOs. He talks about how he personally has known about these UFOs for a long time. And of course, it goes to question, well, why the hell have you guys been lying to us for so goddamn long? But anyways, we got this one here. New details emerge of the highly modified drone that outran police helicopters over Tucson. Again, I think that they keep calling them drones, highly modified drones, but they're most likely, they're either a part of the breakaway civilization, which is us, or our neighbors. Again, that we keep, or the mainstream keeps trying to make us believe that they're visitors or they're from another planet, but I don't think so. Let's see. Here's an article about this the mysterious stone head of Guatemala, completely ignored by history. Look at this thing. Here's a car right here. And then last is this video of a 26-foot anaconda filmed in Xingu. I think that's how you say that. I'm not too sure. But anyways, let's go to this video here. Let me go full screen. Of course, we have a graduate of the Filmmaking School of Vertical Cinematography. I remember, this is the military claimed that this was some kind of test. Because I remember when this happened. And I can remember looking at that going, wow, that really looks like a UFO. But they insisted that it was, some kind of, they were testing something. I don't know. Maybe they were able to test some kind of weapon that was able to shoot some of our visitors or some of our neighbors' aircraft down. Or, this could be a visitor. Again, I'm not saying that, all of them are our neighbors. I think some of them, definitely with the number of possibilities out there, we have to be having some visitors, no doubt. But anyways, let's go to this next video here. Unique friendly UFO encounter over the Atlantic. I think I have this thing queued up properly. Let's check this out.
It was about a mile or so away on the right-hand side. It kind of drifted forward, maybe to a position maybe 5 miles away, and that's where it stayed with us for quite some time. This is when we could first see. It wasn't above our altitude. It was below our altitude, but it's still above the horizon where you could see the side of the craft. You could see the dome, and you could see the color around the perimeter of the craft. And then we knew that it was a friendly encounter. We knew it knew we were there. We knew it came out to see us, but we didn't think at that time that the reason it did this is because they wanted to show us what the Icelanders were talking about. So we watched it for a while, and Al says, "Well, let him get in the seat." So I let him get in the seat, and he disengaged. I thought was going to chase it. Now we had a ground speed of his head went about 60 knots, so our ground speed was maybe only 120, 130 knots. And so he wasn't going to go too far in chasing this thing, but he did turn to chase it. So I decided I would go back there to see how the passengers reacted, and also talk to the doctor who was back there. He used to make the trip over there. He had a daughter going to school in London. And so I went to him first. I said, "Doc, did you see what we saw?" And he says, "Yeah." He says, he looked me straight in the eye. He says, "Yeah." He says, "It was a flying saucer." He says, "I didn't look at it because I don't believe in such things." Well, it took me a couple of seconds to recognize it. He couldn't believe, being a psychiatrist, in that. So I went back forward and I said, Dal, whatever you do, don't tell anybody we saw anything. I'll lock us up as soon as we get on the ground.
Okay, let me stop that right there. Did you hear what he said? The doctor, he asked the doctor if he saw it. The doctor said, yes, I saw a flying saucer, but I didn't look at it because I don't believe in those things. Again, this is what I find so incredible about some people within our society, you know, the humans that have that ability to just completely turn off their common sense or their perception of reality because what they are seeing doesn't fit into, you know, their preconceived worldview. You know, like apparently, you know, like for that doctor, in his world, UFOs don't exist. So the fact that he's seeing them, he still is going to insist that they don't exist. Which, again, you know, to me, those are people that I refer to as massive morons. They're smart people, but they want to deny the facts of reality. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here. Yeah, so now this, I'm pretty sure I've showed this video before. This was a UFO sighting over China, and apparently it shut the airport down. But let's see, let me go right about here when it starts.
To reports, an airport in Inner Mongolia was forced to shut down to prevent passenger jets from crashing into the unidentified flying object. Witnesses reported a bright light shining in the sky before it suddenly vanished. On July 8th, Shaoshan International Airport was shut down because of a UFO. Officials later confirmed the object sighted was part of a military test. This latest show in the sky makes for the 8th reported UFO sighting in China since June.
Again, yeah. You see, look at the bullshit they're trying to tell people. Oh, it was a military test. And, you know, what's also sad is that there are so many people who will look at this, and when they hear the story military test, they're willing to believe that story. You know, they're willing to believe the nonsense. And, you know, I'm pretty sure most of the people that are watching these videos, you know, I would assume you're open-minded enough, but if you're an adult at this point, yeah, if you're a grown adult and you've just now recently come to the realization that UFOs are real, or that the possibilities of you know UFOs are real because of all the media attention it's been getting, you really need to go, you know, look at yourself in the mirror and just tell yourself, acknowledge how stupid you really are. Because, you know, the fact that these things were real, and then when people would relate their experience or their interactions with UFOs, you know, if you were the type of person who was always willing to believe the bullshit, but, you know, but now that the government is finally coming out and acknowledging it, now you're willing to believe it. Yeah, again, you need to admit that, again, if you're a grown adult and you're just now believing it, right? I'm not talking about other people, but if you're a grown adult and you're just now accepting this only because it's in the mainstream media, yeah, you also have to acknowledge that you're pretty institutionalized, or, you know, you have a sheep brain. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here. Let's see, I think I have this queued up properly. Check this out here.
Запад ищет советские подводные лодки повсюду, но военные специалисты растеряны. Обнаруженные субмарины иногда демонстрируют просто невероятные характеристики. Лето 1967 года. Атлантика. Буквально в притирку с аргентинским судном «Навьера», бесшумно и не оставляя следа на воде, в течение четверти часа шла светящаяся сигара длиной более 30 метров. Не видно было ни перископа, ни поручней, ни башни, ни надстроя. Вообще никаких выступающих частей. От сигары исходил мощный голубовато-белый свет. Затем объект неожиданно нырнул, прошел под судном и быстро исчез в глубине, излучая под водой яркое сияние. Военно-морская разведка США докладывает, казалось бы, о немыслимых вещах. Например, о том, что неизвестные объекты обладают качествами не только подлодок, но и самолетов. Они вылетают из-под воды буквально под носом у противолодочных крейсеров и на сверхзвуковой скорости уносятся в небо.
Yeah, this is a 43-minute documentary. It's all in, of course, it's all in Russian, But that's as much as I can play, or I'll get hit with a copyright violation. But, link will be in the description. Check it out. Like I've been saying, again, this came out in 2006, and, you got some of you sheep out there who are still waiting for the government to tell you what you should know, or what should be obvious to you at this point. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here. Yeah, look at this douchebag here, finally admitting.
And so the second part of his question was about unidentified aerial phenomena. Do you want to talk to NASA's work identifying extraterrestrial life?
You want me to talk about
Or
it?
anyone? Dr. Z.
Well, I just want you to know what you have seen on the TV recently, on the Navy films. I had known about this in my former capacity in Intel and the Armed Services Committee. And I've talked to those pilots, and they think it's real. So I have talked to Thomas, Dr. Z, about what specifically we could do from a science perspective, in addition to an intel perspective, to try to bring any additional light to this. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, look, I'm happy to. In the realm of science, we're all about unidentified issues and objects and whatever before. That's what we do. We find something with our observatories, looking at the sky, looking at the Earth, and we go analyze it. We have, history is full of examples of things that were identified or were referred to as UFOs, some types of clouds, phenomena, better phenomena that way. And for me, I personally think that as we look at or the origin of life in other worlds, and then look at really what we, especially at the molecular, and bacterial level, which is what we're really using the tools of science for, the kind of questions that focus on life elsewhere are very much in the realm of what we do, using the tools of science. So we will do whatever we can to move our understanding forward. In many cases, all I wanted to say, what we learned so far in the last few decades is people tend to underestimate nature. Nature is an amazing place where a lot of miracles happen. Once we understand, it's like, why didn't we think of that? But the point is, there's amazing science out there that remains to be discovered. Take new tools, whether it's James Webb, whether it's...
Okay, that's as much as I can play with this. But can you mean that mealy mouth response? Basically, he's dancing around the fact that these people have been lying to us since the existence. And now he's trying to say, oh yeah, we're scientists and we should study that. And then that the other director, talking about these pilots see them and they think they're real. What the hell does that mean? They think they're real. Again, this is more bullshit from the government, more mealy-mouthed bullshit and nonsense and half answers from the government. It's, to me, with all this Dr. Fauci emails coming out now, again, anyone who still trusts the mainstream media has to be just a mindless sheep, or just an incredible moron at this point. But anyways, let me go on to this next article here. New details emerge on the highly modified drone that outran police helicopters over Tucson. The drone was first detected near an enemy storage facility across from Davis-Monthan Air Force Base before evading two pursuing law enforcement helicopters. They keep calling it a drone, as if there's some individual out there who's able to create something that our military can't detect, or this notion that some other foreign country whose defense budget is a fraction of the United States defense budget is out there, with advanced technology that is years beyond anything we've created. again, so anyways, this link to this article will be in the description. Let me go on to this article here. The mysterious stone head of Guatemala, completely ignored by history. Look at the size of this thing. And again, this was in Guatemala. Look at, does this look like a Guatemalan? Or an indigenous Guatemalan? I'm pretty sure like most Guatemalans are a mixture of Europeans now. But, when this was, I guess when this was originally created, yeah, do you think the indigenous people of this region look like this? Look at that. Here's a person sitting up there. And there's more stone faces here. But anyways, the link to this article will be in the description. And let me go on to this last video here. Look at this. Look at this snake here.
Oh, essa é grande, viu? Olha, o tamanho dessa cobra. É sucuri, anaconda. Agora vai embora.
Yeah, you see now, this is why, yeah, I am, at my age, there's no way you can get me into a river or into the ocean anymore. Knowing the possibilities of what's out there. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.